Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing? My name is Jeff from Equities. Thank you for joining this webinar. Today's session will be packed with information because we are going to giving you 1+1 session. Part 1, we are going to talk about the basic of structured warrants, and part 2, we will guide you on how to use the online trading platform. Everyone is free to ask a question by typing on the chat box, but to minimize the distraction, allow the speaker to finish the session and we will try our best to address it at the end of the presentation. Let me introduce our first speaker today, Encik Aiman Fitri. He is young and passionate. Currently, he is in the product development team in equity derivatives. Before this, he was a part of the trading teams in equity derivatives to manage the portfolio of shares, structured warrants, and structured products. He was in the trading for 2 years before moving to his current role to bring in more flow to the ED desk. Without further ado, let's all welcome Encik Aiman.
Thank you, Jeff. Let me share my slides with everyone here today. I hope everyone's having a good morning. Just give me a sec. Okay. Yes. Dismiss. Okay, thank you. It's okay for me to start now, yeah, Jeff?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Jeff, for the very fast introduction. My name's Aiman. I'm part of the equity derivatives team here under AmBank Group in AmBank. So I'll just be covering a bit on structured warrants. Is one of the products that we do, and I'll get into the basics of it because it's going to be a very fast session. So I'll get only through the basics of it because there's a lot to cover. Okay. So the agenda for today in this short session that I have with you guys, I want to cover the basics. So I'm going to tell you a bit about what structured warrants are and where to find them on the exchange. I'm going to tell you why you should include structured warrants in your trading strategies. And then also I'm going to go through very quickly a simple guide to picking the right structured warrants for you. And then obviously, last but not least, with every investment or trading tool, there's going to be risks involved, and I'm going to have to go through that with you as well. Okay, so what are structured warrants and where can you find them? So firstly, structured warrants, if you are quite familiar with finance, you may have come across this term derivatives or options. So a structured warrant is basically an option. It is a leverage product that derives its value from the value of an underlying. So say, for example, one of the quickest examples I can think of is like, say, apple juice. So, so apples are the underlying security. And then apple juice is derived from the value of apples. So that is one of the easy way to understand it, lah. So a structured warrant gives the holders the right, but not the obligation to buy or sell shares at an agreed price, which is known as the exercise price, on an agreed future date. So this future date is more commonly known as the maturity date. So if you think about it, this right that you hold when you buy the warrant, it has a value. And the value is usually much cheaper than if you were to buy the underlying security. So that's point one. So other point is that structured warrants, with structured warrants, you are able to gain exposure to the underlying security at a fraction of the underlying securities price. So this may seem a bit blurry to you, but I'll get into an example later. So like shares, it is an exchange traded product, meaning you can buy and sell it on Bursa Malaysia on the exchange lah. So how you can identify a structured warrant when you're looking through the list of securities on the exchange is that it will always have this name, as you can see here. So for example, I take B Auto C29. So the underlying share is Burma's Auto, and then there will be two identifiers here. One is the C, which means it's a call warrant, which I'll get into a bit later. And the other one is if it's a H. So H is a put warrant, and it's always followed by either a number identifier or an alphabet identifier, depending on how many structured warrants have been issued so far. Okay, so over here you can also on the exchange platform, which Zul will go through with you. You can actually look for structured warrants specifically on our trading platform as well. So just go through there. I think he will show it to you, or at least he will show you how it looks like later. So there are actually two types of warrants out there which you should be aware about. There are structured warrants and there are company warrants. So I'll get through the differences here. So structured warrants are usually issued by eligible financial institutions. So for example, AmBank is one of them. There are many other examples. For example, Maybank, Macquarie Securities, CIMB or Kenanga. So these are the difference. Company warrants are listed by their own companies. So the underlying securities that is that the structured warrants derive its value from are usually local or foreign shares, indices, or exchange traded funds. So there are more options under structured warrants. For company warrants, on the other hand, is only on the shares of the company that is issuing these company warrants. So style, so this may be this is something that you need to know if you're going to buy structured warrants. Is the maturity or exercising style. So structured warrants are always going to be European, which means that you can only exercise that right that I was talking about to buy or sell securities only at maturity. For company warrants is usually American, which means you can exercise any time before maturity. So you can buy and sell the shares at a cost at any time before maturity. Settlement is also another thing that you have to be aware of. There will be no share dilution if you buy a structured warrant because it's cash settled. So say say the right that you hold has a value. If you exercise that right, we will give you cash instead of the shares. But for company warrants, it's usually physically settled. So the company will issue additional shares to meet their obligations when you exercise their right, when you exercise your rights. So market makers presence, structured warrants has market makers presence. So this is basically having to do with liquidity. So say you want to buy or sell a structured warrant, um, is actually mandated by Bursa for the market makers to always provide two-way quotes. So us as a bank, as a issuer, we will provide a buy and a sell order all the time for you guys to enter or exit whenever you want to. For company warrants, it's not the case. It's usually by market supply demand. So it's very dependent on the warrants, and you are not so you're not so sure that you can exit or enter depending on the liquidity. So like I said before, how you can identify a structured warrants out there is if you're interested in buying a call warrant, you look for the C after the exchange name of the underlying, so B auto C29, or H for put warrant. So for example, my EGHI or something like that. So for company warrants, the identifier is the W. So I won't get too much into company warrants. Yep. So for example, on the exchange, on the trading platform, you can see I've taken a quick screenshot. This is how you can identify. There are many structured warrants out there issued by many different market makers or issuers. So the next slide I'll go to is a bit more on the basics of call and put warrants. So call warrants, you would typically want to buy it if you have a bullish or you have a positive view on the underlying. This is for you to capitalize on the upside. So for example, you think that it's going to go up, the share price is going to go up. Instead of buying the underlying shares, you could buy the structured warrants, and I'll get into why this may be this may interest you lah. Yeah. So yes. And then on the other side of it are put warrants. So put warrants is the opposite of call warrants. You should buy it when you think that the underlying has a bearish trend, or you want to capitalize on the downside. So you think that you think that underlying share will go down in the next 1 or 2 months. So you can buy the put warrants. So this effectively means that you can short the underlying without having to hold the underlying. So it's a very useful tool we see for very short term, for someone who wants to make a gain on the short term on the bearish view. So for examples, you can have MyGHH on the market or CIMBHI. So you're buying the structured warrants of this. So basic information again on where you can find AmBank structured warrants, at the structured warrants that AmBank issues. You can find it on our website. When you're on this page, you can just click on the price matrix and then you'll see a list of structured warrants that we hold. Just Google AmBank warrants or go to this slide. I think better to Google AmBank warrants, it's faster. And there will be a link that'll take you straight to this website, and then you can click on the price matrix. The price matrix basically shows you all the structured warrants that AmBank issues. So we have plenty. So we have, for example, Alliance Bank Malaysia Berhad C12. So that's so the underlying is Alliance Malaysia. Then we also have Astro C45, Affin, and a lot of others. So you can see here. Just go through very quickly. So currently, AmBank has issued more than 90 structured warrants at this time of this presentation, and we are always working to issue more to fit investors' needs. So there are limitations to what kind of companies we can, or what kind of underlyings we can issue structured warrants are, but best believe that we'll try and issue as many on different underlyings, so investors can have exposure to all the underlyings if they want to, all the companies on the exchange if they want to. So I'll go through a bit on examples of structured warrants. So if you can see here, this is one of our structured warrants that we had that has already matured. So you can see the white line with the shading. That is the price of the structured warrants, which is on the right hand side. So you can see the price is very cheap, or is very absolute value is very small. And then the price of Yinsen, the underlying, is the blue line. So you can see that the structured warrant tracks the price of the underlying quite closely, or very closely, I would say. So instead of, for example, you having to buy Yinsen shares, which could be around 2 ringgit, 3 ringgit, you could buy Yinsen warrants for fraction of its price. So you can see that if you know that Yinsen is going to increase in value, or that's your view on the underlying, you can buy the warrants instead so that you can have a better profit potential, which I'll go through later. So another example I can show you here is Timecom. Timecom recently shot up in the last 6 months. So this is a 1 year. This is a 1 year graph, I imagine. Yes. So recently it has shot up. So the same thing again. The white line with the blue shading is the structured warrants price, and the blue line is the underlying price. So it goes up in tandem. So you're quite safe in knowing that the structured warrants will follow the price of the underlying. This is in terms of call warrants. Then on the other slide, I would like to show a put warrant example. So this is of MyEG and MyGHG. Same thing, the white line with the blue shading is the structured warrants price. So this one, because it's a put warrant, it goes opposite of the underlying share price. So when the share price increases of MyAG, the warrant will decrease. So over here, you can see that when MyAG decreases, the structured warrant price increases. So that will make you able to capitalize on the downside of the underlying by buying the put warrants. Okay, so this is our important information that you would need to know in terms of invest or trading in structured warrants. These are important terms that you need to know, or that's important to know. So these are the 3 terms: out of the money, at the money, and in the money. So say you are looking at an underlying, or you're looking at a call warrant. So the call warrant states that it has the exercise price of 68 cents. So meaning that if you buy the call warrant, and if you buy a call warrant with the terms that it has an exercise price of 68 cents, if the underlying share price is at 68 cents, you are at the money. And then if the underlying share price increases over the exercise price, you are in the money. And then the opposite for if it goes below the exercise price, you are out of the money. So these are important terms that you will come across when you're reading a bit more on call warrants, reading a bit more on options in general. So on the other hand, for put warrants, it's the opposite way. So say for example, it's the same underlying with the same exercise price for the put warrant at 68 cents. If the share price goes below the exercise price, you're in the money, and if it goes above, you're out of the money. So this is a very common term that is used amongst say traders or investors when they're investing into or when they're buying options or structured warrants. Another important thing to know about structured warrants is what is in the price of a structured warrant. So the price of a structured warrant is made up of two things. So say for example, you're looking through our price matrix and then you see Astro C45. You see the exercise price here of 68 cents and expiry date on the 10th of November. So it's still quite far before it's still quite far before it matures. Then you see that the share price is actually at 69 cents of Astro and the warrant price is 70 cents. Or 7 cents, sorry. So, sorry. Okay. So how you can, like I said, there are two parts of the value of a structured warrants. One is called the intrinsic value and the other is called the time value. Intrinsic value is fairly easy to calculate. So it's basically the share price minus the exercise price divided by the exercise ratio, which is over here. So over here, I already did the calculation for you. It's 69 cents minus 68 cents, which is the exercise price, over 1. So the intrinsic value of the structured warrant, of this structured warrant, is 1 cent. And then the difference is the time value. So how you calculate the time value is basically the warrant price, which you are able to see on the exchange, minus the intrinsic value. So that the time value is 6 cents. And this concept of time value is very important for you to understand because time value decays. So I'll go through the same exact example here. The time value only affects the time decay only affects the time value of a warrant. So a general rule to note is that the closer to maturity, the more time value is lost. So say for example, I'm assuming that from the earlier example, the warrant will always hold an intrinsic value of 1 cent. So at issuance or say 9 months to maturity, it has the highest time value as before of 6 cents. Or of 7 cents. And then as it goes towards maturity, the time value only decreases. So so you'll see here from 7 cents, the time value will decrease to 3.5 cents. And then at maturity, the time value is no more. So the time value has decayed to 0. So this is an important concept to know when you are going to trade in structured warrants because when you buy structured warrants, time is always against your side. So you need to know whenever there's big movements in the underlying, that's when it's the right time to invest or to trade structured warrants. So this is just how time decay is illustrated. Um, it's at an increasing rate the closer it gets to maturity. So say this is the issuance date, and the time value is up here. It will slowly decrease few months after the issuance, and then you will see that it will decrease very fast at a fast rate closer it gets to maturity. So over here, yeah. So time decay, as I said, is at a slower rate for newly issued structured warrants and increases in rate exponentially as the structured warrants approaches maturity until all time value is lost, as I mentioned just now. So say, for example, if the structured warrant has no intrinsic value, meaning to say that the exercise price is higher or the share price is lower than the exercise price, that means that at maturity, if you still hold the structured warrants, investors will receive nothing. So be very careful holding structured warrants until maturity lah. So that is the basic need to knows of structured warrants. Now I'll get into why you should include structured warrants in your trading strategies, because I think what I said before is like there's a lot of time value loss and all that, so it may be a bit scary to come into structured warrants. But if you have if you have a very strong bullish or bearish view on the structure on the underlying, I'll show you why it's quite beneficial for you to trade in structured warrants. So say, for example, I'll use the same example, Astro C45. You're looking at our price matrix and you see that, for example, the current price of Astro, the underlying share price, is 64 cents. And you see in our price matrix that the warrant price is 4.5 cents over here. So say you want to gain exposure into Astro. So you buy 10,000 shares worth of Astro at 64 cents, which is about 6,400 ringgit that you have to cough up. And for another scenario is that if you want to gain a similar amount of exposure of 10,000 shares, you buy our call warrants by this formula, the supposed amount of capital they have to cough up, divide by the effective gearing, which is up here. You will be able to see this in our price matrix. So you divide the 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 cost by the effective gearing, which will get you this number. So approximately 1,200. So this is what you need to cough up to buy 27,100 warrants. Obviously rounded to the nearest lot of 100 warrants lah. So say your view is right on the underlying and Astro share price increases from 64 cents to 71 cents. So that's a very healthy profit that you are expecting if you sell lah. So say you sell your 10,000 Astro shares for a 7 cent profit, you'll be getting back 700 ringgit, which is a good, I would say it's a very good trading move because that's about a 10% gains from your 6,400. However, for Astro C45, you have to buy to the warrants. You see that from 64 cents over here, it went up from 45 cents to 80 cents. So you are able to sell back at 80 cents. And so your profit here is about 950 ringgit, which from your initial capital of about 1,002, that's about a 77% increase in your gains. Sorry, in your trading gains. So this is one of the reasons why structured warrants are very popular amongst short-term traders, or at least people who have a strong view on the underlying, and then they want to enter and make as much money as they can. They go for the structured warrants instead. So yes, like I mentioned again, the gearing effect is why structured warrants are very popular because it allows investors to gain exposure to the security for just a fraction of its price. So as a result, investors can get the same effective exposure investing in structured warrants than the underlying with a much smaller capital outlay. So yeah, like I said, from 6,400 in comparison to investing 6,400, you would invest in 1,200, but then your gains in percentage terms, it's much higher. So that is one of the main reasons why people trade in structured warrants. There are other reasons why. Gearing effect is the one that I just went through. It's very high liquidity. So like I said before, it is mandated by the issuers of structured warrants to always hold two-way quotes on the market, to always hold buy and sell orders, so that investors like you can either hit our offer price, so you buy at our offer price, or if you want to sell, you sell at our bid price. So we are always there for you to exit or enter into positions that you want to take. Another reason is limited loss potential. So say, for example, from the earlier example, I said that to gain effective exposure on Astro, you invest 1,200. So that 1,200 is the is the loss that in worst case scenario, you will lose that whole thing. But obviously, you are able to sell it back to us, even if it's at a lower price. So you can keep some of that loss. You can keep some of that initial capital um, that you initially invested in. So another reason why people like structured warrants is because you are able to profit from either direction, whether it's bearish or bullish, like I mentioned earlier. Lower capital outlays, like the earlier example, you gain an effective exposure on the structured warrants with a lower capital outlay. And last but not least is no margin call. So this is not share margin financing. So we won't come to you if, say, your position is turned sour. We won't come to you and ask for a margin from you. So yeah. So now that I've gone now that I've hopefully gone through reasons why you should invest in structured warrants, and hopefully make you a bit more interested in this product, I'll go through very slightly a simple guide to picking the right structured warrants. So this all depends on the answer to this. It all depends on what kind of investors you are. I think from what I've said before, um, structured warrants is more suitable for traders or investors who are looking who are have a shorter term of a investment horizon, I would say, because of the maturity that structured warrants has, as well as the time value that I've mentioned earlier with the time decay. So it all depends on what kind of investors you are. Obviously, this doesn't limit to this is not this list is not exhaustive, but say for example you are a high frequency trader, or like you're an intraday trader, you're looking for a quick profit. um, so you can so these people usually they continuously monitor the stocks of interest for them, and if there is a warrant, if there's a structured warrant of these underlying that they are following, they usually go for structured warrants that are out of the money, that they hope will turn into the money, because this provides the most leverage or high gearing. So say for example you have an established career already, and you're more concerned with growing family savings, and you don't have time to continuously continuously monitor the market. But then you read certain research reports that you receive from your brokers, and you have a certain direction in mind of a specific underlying. So if that specific underlying you think is very good, and it can go up in the next 2-3 months, um, you can instead buy structured warrants. And for example, if you're a retiree and you're more into value protection, um, and because you have quite a bit of time, you can regularly monitor but not continuously. So these are structured warrants are more suitable for structured warrants that these kind of people want to trade in is more towards in the money. So like I said, ones that have higher intrinsic value, which gives you more value protection, and lower gearing, meaning not as sensitive to the underlying share price movement. And then last but not least, if you're starting out as a university graduate, or your low level career, just starting a career, we have minimal capital to achieve high return. So you're looking sort of like what the intraday traders, high frequency traders are looking for: high gearing, out of the money to turn into the money, and obviously cheaper warrants. So what should you consider if you're interested in structured warrants and you want to, look around and trade structured warrants? So the first thing I would like to go through is you need to have an expectation underlying. There's no use buying into a structured warrant where the underlying is not doing well, because that will only accelerate your losses the same way as you saw it accelerates your gain. So you have to choose call or put warrants linked to the underlying that which you have picked. So say for example you think for example MyEG is bearish because there's going to be bad news that's coming up. So you can buy MyEG put warrants, so that when the news comes out, for example, and say and the share price goes down, your put warrant price or value will go up. So those are the things that you need to know lah. So you need to understand and analyze the underlying. So obviously, doing fundamental research, or if you've heard rumors of like negative news, and then also are there any macro events or company specific events that may drive the share price either way. So if you have a strong view, you can either choose to buy call warrants or put warrants on the market. Yeah. Another thing that you should consider is determining your investment horizon. So remember time decay. Try not to enter into structured warrants that are very close to maturity, because the time value will decay quite rapidly the closer it is to maturity. So structured warrants actually are generally used as a trading tool, and not to hold for the long term. So we usually get investors who will buy structured warrants upon issuance, because that one holds the most time value, and the rate of the time decay is the lowest at issuance. So they'll hold it for 2, 3, 4 months and then see if their view is wrong, and then they'll either sell it back to us at a slight loss, or if their view is correct and it goes up, that's when they make the that's when they're very happy, like, because they make the most money out of that from the example that I've given. So just watch out for your time value and time decay, and obviously your investment horizon. This is, like I said, used as a trading tool and not as a long-term holdings. So just take note that you will lose on the time decay, and any trading gains that you may have made during the life of the structured warrants may not have offset this loss if held to maturity. And another thing to consider is that structured warrants, we do not receive, you if you're a holder of structured warrants, if you buy structured warrants, you do not receive any dividends given by the underlying company. So structured warrants, like I said, is more suitable for short-term trading. And the last one is to know your risk appetite. So like I said just now, the moneyness and the effective gearing, use that in your trading decisions. So for example, I'll go through just not really a rule, I would say. So low risk investors, or if you're unable to monitor the market continuously, then it's more suitable for you to uh, buy structured warrants that are in the money for value protection and have lower effective gearing, because these two will mean that any movement in the underlying will result in smaller movements in the structured warrant price. And on the flip side, if you're a high risk investor and like you like to take on risks for that potential profit gains, like I showed you an example earlier, then it's more suitable for you to invest or trade structured warrants that are out of the money, and you're expecting it to become in the money for the most leverage. Yeah. So putting it all together, these are the three basic things that you need to consider if you want to trade in structured warrants, which is the expectation on the underlying your investment horizon and your risk appetite. So say that you have bought the structured warrants. What should you do post trade? So the important things that you should know post trade is that you have to observe and monitor the underlying, because you need to have a level in mind where you want to take profit or stop your loss. So as structured warrants are a leverage product, so any potential losses are amplified in the same way as potential gains. So you really need to observe and monitor, and you can't hold emotional tie when you're trading structured warrants. If you see that your position has turned sour and you're facing your losses, you limit your losses and you sell everything back. I think that goes with investing in general, or trading in general. And another thing is that, because it's a very brief introduction into structured warrants, I would suggest that you go more in depth in your structured warrant knowledge. Like there's a lot of sources online on our website, and then also on other issuers' websites, so you can educate yourself in more detail of structured warrants and how they are priced, what affects their price. So these ones you can get on AmBank's AmWarrants website. And last but not least, is just me giving you a list of risks that you have to consider. So like I said earlier, it is a leverage product. So structured warrants, any potential losses are amplified in the same way as potential gains. So that's why you need to monitor and observe, and be quite confident in your trading strategies. Another thing is that structured warrants have a limited lifespan, like I mentioned, with the maturity date. So the time value of warrants will diminish substantially when it gets closer to maturity. So you have to monitor your positions regularly, and you have to see our price matrix, at what price you would like to enter or exit. So before expiry as well, the warrants price will move according to not just the underlying price, but also, like I said, the time to maturity, expected volatility of the shares, and as well, to a lesser extent, but not really a big issue, is the dividends and the interest rates. And then this last two is the foreign exchange risk, which means that if we have any warrants that are issued on a foreign underlying, there will be FX risk to that. But currently, we don't do any uh, uh, overseas structured warrants, and then credit risk as well. Like I said, because it's cash settled, the warrant issue has to deliver its obligations under structured warrants. But then as a bank, you're quite safe. So this, you don't really need to worry about this as much. And that's about it for my presentation. I hope you guys understand. I hope this piques your interest in starting to look at structured warrants, because there are many structured warrants out there with different structures and different terms and different terms and different times to maturity. So you can play around with all these structured warrants if you decide to go into it lah. Yeah. So thank you again, everyone. Sorry, Jeff, I'm not sure because I saw some people asking questions on the chat. Do you want me to address them now or after?
Yeah, let's answer some question here.
Sure. Yeah,
Uh,
can.
from Yuk Long, what is the difference between structured warrants and options?
Okay, structured warrants and options, they are technically the same thing. However, structured warrants, we make it cheaper for you by adding the exercise ratio. So let me go back to the slide. Oh, where is it? Here. Okay. So say for example here we add this exercise ratio. So say the option is priced is one price, but then when we add the exercise ratio, we split this option into different, say, constituents or components. So it makes it cheaper. So that's the only difference between structured warrants and options. Yeah. And I see another questions also by Rais Muhammad. If I sell the warrants, who will buy it for me? What happens if there's no buyer? Okay, like I said, structured warrants, it's mandated by Bursa for the issuers to always hold two-way quotes. So our bid is always there for you to sell it back to us if the price is falling. Um, so we will buy it we will buy it from you. However, say for example, if the structured warrants price is like zero, there will be no bids there because we can't buy it at zero price. So so if you sell those structured warrants, there's always going to be an issuer like us or another issuer who will hold the bid prices there for you to sell back to us, for you to hit our bids. So, getting out of your position should not really be a worry, unless there's like so many people hitting, and then like our system cannot cater to that sort of demand. But usually that's not the case because it's auto quoting our bids. Yeah.
Okay, the next question will be the how we know when is the warrant will start to decay.
Oh, okay. So this one, my best advice to you is to always monitor and access our price matrix, because our price matrix will update daily at the start of the day. So you can see at what price for example here, what price the bid is of the structured warrants. So this is what price you can sell it back to us. Um, it won't change so much day to day. It won't change at all, very much change day to day. But like I said, with time decay, for example, in this case at 64 cents, we are the bid is 4.5 cents. This will be different in say 3 months towards maturity compared to 9 months. So this price may be a bit lower. So you just have to monitor and see um, and determine like when your investment horizon is. Like if you want to exit it because you think that there's not going to be much movement in the underlying, you can exit it soon as possible. I would suggest that instead of waiting, unless you're very confident that there will be a very big movement or there will be movement in the underlying. Yeah.
Okay, audience, is there any further question?
Yep. Is there any more questions? I'm happy to take more questions if there are. If there's not, then Jeff, we can go back to you if that's okay.
Okay, guys, then we will stop here. And if you have a further question, feel free to email to us. I will drop the email address into the chat box. So thanks, Aiman. Let's have
Thank
a
you.
5 minute short break. We will come back at 10:45 a.m.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Aiman.
everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Jeff.
Welcome back, everyone. Our next speaker is handsome dealer from Kuching, Encik Zul. He began his career at OSK Investment in 2005 and worked there for 3 years before transition to AmInvestment in 2008, where he has been employed since. With nearly 2 decades of experience in this industry, Encik Zul has a vast experience in the investment and financial industry. Please welcome Encik Zul. Hi Zul, you may begin now.
Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Good morning.
Morning Zul.
Morning. Can you see the slide, Jeff?
No.
Hang on. Sure. All right. Okay. I got it. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Today, just a refresher course. Just some introduction on our website. This is our current website, amequities.com.my. You actually can go to our website. You can see a lot of ongoing events to check on our latest promotion. And what is the past event as the one that already passed. Okay, and for today, let me see. All right. Okay. Our apology because for today there is some maintenance going on in the website, so we have to do it via offline. All right, just to sign in here, this is your sign in page. Just click your user ID, password, just click login. Then you should see your trading hall something like this, similar like this. All right. You can see you can sort all the stocks, sort by volume, or you can change the lot setting from normal bought lot to normal odd lot in case you need to sell your odd unit. Yeah. All right. And then another thing, you actually can add on some function here. Let me see, just zoom in. All right. If you look at this screen, you actually can add on another few more options to your trading hall. You can tick news, and then last adjusted closing price. Last adjusted closing price in case the shares just X for dividend. So adjusted closing price should show it after the X dividend. So if the price adjusted for after dividend, LACP, you should look at LACP, last adjusted closing price, this part. All right. And then opening price, you can tick it in case you need it. And then lot size is, I think the normal lot size will be 100. And currency default will be in ringgit. So it's not really, but I think I just want to point out here, you actually can add on IDSS volume, IDSS value. It shows you what counter is doing short selling right now. This is basically intraday short selling volume only. Intraday short selling means you can short any counter in the morning. Let's say if the market is quite bearish, you can actually short any allowed stocks. All right, not all, yeah. So you can short counter like MyEG, you actually can do shorting, but since this is intraday short selling, you have to open a new account. It will be a nominees account. Yeah, you can do sell first, buy back before 4 o'clock on the same day. So that's why it's called intraday short selling. You can contact your dealer to open intraday short selling in account in case you're interested. And then let's go to the next slide. All right. Okay. For watch list, yeah, you actually can just do a new one. Whatever watch list that you created in the website or from the apps, you actually can view it in your mobile apps or in the website. So it's the same thing. As long as you add under your watch list, you can view it even you are undergo, which you are actually viewing it from your mobile app. All right. Okay. Just a simple one. How to create one watch list, and then all right, and then to add the stock, you just right click your code screen. All right. Let me just zoom in here. You can see here add to watch list, right? Add to watch list. Right click any stock, you add to watch list, and then you choose which watch list that you wish to add on. So like I said, any you can edit the watch list to add or to remove it. You actually can just do it via apps or a mobile or a web browser. All right. And then next one is okay. Stock info. If you click any stock, you just right click any stock on the code screen. You should see some of stock information. Right. What is the counter? What is the main business of the company? What is the high of the day? 52-week high. If you look here, you can, like I said earlier, like I point out, there is IDSS volume. That means IDSS volume that has been done, yeah. And then in terms of the value, you can look at the IDSS volume 112,000 already done. This one, this screenshot was taken on Wednesday. So this is the volume that has already done. All right. And then if you go to the next slide, you can see here under the stock info, you are just checking on the volume distribution, business done, how many done at this price, 77,775. Basically, you can check under price distribution. You actually can check what time the price was executed. 765, 10,000 unit. What time? You actually can check under price distribution. In case you are wondering why your order not done, if you place any order at this price, why it's not done, then you just find out that it's only 10,000 shares done. So you actually can check all under stock info here, yeah. Right. Okay. Now we let go through chart. Let me check. Okay. If you go to chart here, you can see two chart. One is intraday chart and another one is analysis chart. Analysis chart is more on historical chart. Intraday is for intraday, right? And then if you look here, there is option for the chart. If you open the chart, it will be default like this, right? You actually can choose up to 500 records, maybe around 4 to 5 years, 500 records trading day. Yeah? Default will be 100 records. So 500 record, that's the maximum you actually can track the stock. And then, all right, next slide. Okay. For those that do charting, you actually can choose what type of indicator that you want to add on to the chart. We do have a Bollinger Band, quite a number here, which that you are comfortable with. Normally, people are looking at moving average. Bollinger Band is one of the famous one that people are picking for stocks indicator. So you actually can do it on your own under the indicators, yeah. And then let's go to the next one. All right. And then chart option. This is for 500 record. This is how the chart look like, yeah. All right. This is for the 500 records. This is Hong Seng Warrant B that I'm not promoting Hong Seng, but this is stock that I picked the other day. You can choose for bar chart, line break, Heiken-Aishi, and pointing figures. Or you can choose from the website. But just let you know that this chart only available from the website. At the mobile app, you can't view that much. Basically, mobile app just for you to trade on the go. So that's why they try to limit the so that is not hanging or jam, yeah, for mobile app. So as light as possible. So it's just for you to trade on the go. All right, let's go to dividends and warrant. I think Aiman mentioned earlier that we actually can view the dividends and warrant from the website. You just go to the analysis here. Analysis, you can see two options here, dividends and warrant. All right. See. All right. For dividends, you actually can track what is the announcement date. All right. What counter are they paying any dividends soon? So for you can, this one is sort by the date, yeah, by the X date. So on the 17th X date for BJ Auto, there, just to emphasize here that if you buy any stocks on X date, you are not entitled for any dividend. So you need to buy 1 day before the X date. So if it's 17, then it's 16th of April. Then you will be entitled for the dividend. You need to look at the X date, all right? And then another thing, some people ask why the payment not been credited yet. You can check the payment date on the website. What date the registrar is going to release the payment. So like here they put 5th of May. So registrar only released the dividend payment on the 5th of May. So you can check your account on that day or a day after, because nowadays most of the remittance is done via IBG. So you'll be on the same day or day after. You just check your dividend payment, yeah. All right. And then total dividend payment is 4.5 cents. And yeah, nothing much. You can check the stock code, what counter are paying dividends, and you can check. This is quite useful page, which you actually can use it as your one of the investment decision before you place any order to buy any dividend stock. You can search for this link. And then all right, for warrants, Aiman mentioned earlier. Warrants, we do have information available in our website under analysis just now. If you look here, ABMBC 11, reference price means what is the current price right now? 7.5 cents. Year high yellow is not available here, but exercise price is 388, and the ratio is 1/4. And then maturity date, yeah. The closer it to maturity, the warrant price normally go down if technically, yeah. The share price right now is 339, and we do show premium to the share price. It's about 23% premium to the share price, yeah. Then all right, you can check any warrant. You just type, you just search here what type of warrant that you wish to view. Like this is BSL Corp warrant. You actually can check, is it under value? Is it trading at premium or trading at discount? You can check. Everything is available in the website. I just let you know the reference current price is basically moving based on the last done price in the market. So it's a very reliable source. And then, all right, then we just go through to trade, place your order. Yeah? All right. If you right click any stock here, you can see a lot of menu, yeah, buy, sell, revise, market depth, stock info, historical data. Historical data, you just see to track the share price up to 500 record as well. Same goes with analysis chart. So historical data, if you want to see for the past 4 to 5 years, what is the highest and the lowest for the stock, you can check under historical data. And then news and fundamental. News, actually, you can view a lot of things under news. Like Aiman said, call warrant issued by third party. This is issued by third party, all right? So third party, what I meant is issued normally by the bank. So in order for you to check who is the issuer, you can check under news. You can see, is it under AmBank? AmBank issue it, or Macquarie, Maybank? You can view under news, all right? And then okay, to place an order, you just right click buy. You can see the order box popping up, all right? Normally trading limit will be based on your type of account, all right? Account number will be default. If you do have 2 to 3, 1 or 2 account, you can choose here which account that you want to use. And then stock should be the same one that you right click just now. And then make sure the green color is a buy and the pink color is a sell. Right? Quantity is 100. If you wish to trade odd lot, you can't do it under this screen. You need to change the normal bought lot first, right, to normal odd lot. Then you will see the quantity times 100 change to quantity times 1. Then that's how you execute your odd lot via online. And then the price that you wish to execute and the validity, normally there is 2 options here. One is day and another one is GTD. GTD means good till date order. You can place order maximum up to 30 days. All right. Let's just go next one. All right. I said there is 2 type of order, GTD order. You can choose up to maximum 30 days. Yeah. If you don't wish to key in daily, this is actually a very useful function. Maximum 30 days. Just to let you know, in case there is any corporate action, something like bonus issue, rights issue, it will be cancelled by the exchange. Yeah, it will be cancelled. So you need to place a new GTD order in case the stock has a bonus issue, rights issue. It will be auto cancel. Then let's just go to the next one. All right, this is what I meant when talking about odd lot just now. If you look the difference here, quantity is times 1. So basically you can sell 99 unit maximum. So 100 unit, you need to go back to the normal bought lot. So this is the odd lot only cater for 1 unit until 99 unit. If you do have from bonus issue, from share dividend, you can do selling via, you just need to change this screen. Yeah? Make sure this under here is normal or not. To change back, there is a few options here. You actually can go back to normal bought lot. So you need to change this. Or else you can't straight away execute your odd unit. Right? All right. Let's go to under reports. Yeah, reports client summary. Okay, if you do have any purchase or selling order which is done, you actually can view whatever outstanding the contract under outstanding or due to you here under this column. You can check it. Right? Just go to reports under client summary. You will show you everything in the how much money in your trust account. In your apps, you can't see this figure. Apps only show your trading limit. So if you're just wondering why my money is supposed to be this much, but in the app show this much, basically in the apps, you can only view your trading limit. It's not the exact cash balance. In order for you to look at the cash balance, you need to look at reports, client summary from the website. Right? Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, equities portfolio. You can check under portfolio. There is 2 things here. Is equities portfolio. We will show you unrealized gain and loss. Just let you know that the unrealized gain and loss is not accurate because this thing default at 0.7% your brokerage. So everyone will see their unrealized gain and loss not very tally because of the default setting in the portfolio system. So you basically you still can view your how many shares that you have available and then last adjusted closing price. All right, cash balance. Okay, some of you might know this, but I just want to point out here. All right, we actually can do layout setting. All right, just go to setting. You can choose the layout that you wish is comfortable to you. Right, you can have a few multiple screen under one page. So you just under setting, choose which layout that you are happy with, then click apply. You can see like my screen here. I have a few multiple information under one screen. Yeah, you just need to click apply. Choose which that you are comfortable with, then click apply. All right. Okay. E-services, yeah, we do have under the website. You actually can, once the website is available, you can check here. E-settlement, e-services, yeah, under the main menu. E-services, we do have e-settlement, e-settlement status, e-deposit, e-forms, and e-settlement. For e-settlement, let's just go to e-settlement first. All right. All right. For you that wish to do e-settlement, yeah, you should see if you have any outstanding purchase that you wish to settle it yourself, you should see contract purchase here, right? You just need to choose it and then click online cash deposit. You can't do it if you don't have any AmBank account. Because once you click online cash deposit here, it will direct you to AmBank online for you to make a settlement. So make sure you have one AmBank saving account first before you opt for this option. If you want to do e-settlement directly by yourself, all right? Okay, next. Okay, e-settlement, yeah. Okay. Okay, e-settlement, you can see there is a few T3, T2, or T1. All right, it will show you when is the actual date that your contract matured. So if you wish to do, I think it's not available settling on T3. Normally T2 will be the settlement. T3 is last day. You need to settle it before 4 o'clock. Any outstanding purchases, it's advisable for you to make payment on T+2, like this one, this screen. So if you buy today, for example, on the 16th, 17 will be T+1, and then 18 will be T+2. T means trading day, so you'll be based on trading day or working day, right? And it will show you the settlement status, pending payment, successful payment. It will show you under the e-settlement. Just look for e-services and then e-settlement. All right. Okay. This part, all right. Under e-services, you can see e-statement, right? So there is a few options that you can choose. Make sure you click the right account number in case you have a few account trading account or margin account. You actually can, you need to choose first. And then contract statement normally generated whenever there is a purchase or sale transaction done. So you can check the next day. And then statement of account is basically the whole month transaction for the whole month. Yeah. So you can download yourself here, statement of account. And if you do have margin statement, you can also download here. The latest one that we add on is a foreign statement. If you have purchase or sell for US stocks, Hong Kong, you actually can download yourself here, right? Contrast statement, basically, if you have transaction, you play contra, you should see under the contrast statement. It's not under contract statement. It will be under contrast statement. So there's two different things here, and then everything can be downloaded here. In case you don't receive it via email, you can also opt to download it from this link. Under e-services, e-statement, right? And then next one, okay. If you do wish to do cash withdrawal, you want to submit any cash withdrawal, you just go to e-services just now, e-forms, and look for cash withdrawal. You key in the amount that you prefer to withdraw, and our back office will do the withdrawal for you. Just make sure that the account, bank account that you wish to withdraw already maintained in the system, or else the e-broking will contact you to ask for a copy of top part of the bank statement for them to make withdrawal. You already have, you already provide to your dealer the top part of statement, then they will do maintenance ad hoc. We just do maintain one time. After that, you can no need to submit any more top up bank statement. All right. Another thing, equity research. All right. We do have under here. We look at under our research. Under research here, you can see what data, right up from our research team. All right. We do have a forex analysis. What is the stock on radar? If you don't receive in the morning, you can still join our Telegram group. I think Jeff highlighted early in the chat under stock on radar, or you actually can ask your dealer to WhatsApp to you. Right? Special report. What is the forex outlook right now? Everything you can find here. Right, and then okay, just remember this number in case you need to change your you forgot your password. You need to do some checking with e-broking why you can't log in. You actually can call this number 203-10102, and then or for marketing side you actually can email salesebs@ambankgroup.com. And then lastly, I want to put here. I want to show here. All right. AmBank stop order and stop limit. All right. Maybe some of you already know, maybe some not yet. All right. In the order box, if you look at it, in sell or buy, actually you can see few menus here under sell. Order type will be, you can choose stop. Base trigger price will be on last trade, direction down. Normally sell, whenever you click sell, you want to place a sell stop. The default direction will be down. Okay. Stop means there's two things here. One is stop and another one is stop limit. Stop basically once the thing the price it hit the trigger price, it will auto sell. Your order will be placed straight away. It will be executed immediately based on available market price. So two things, yeah. Another one is stop limit. Stop limit, same thing. You place a sell order, all right? Direction will be automatically down. Yeah, stop limit. Once the trigger price, it hit the trigger price. Like I said, stop limit means the price just enter the start queuing. Okay, validity is at the moment is only a day. you can't put stop order on GTD. So basically, this is how the order path for a stop order. You just choose here, yeah. Default will be limit order, but the stop limit it's an option which you actually can choose from one of the menu here. There is three menu here: stop limit, stop, and limit order. Default will be limit order. So in case you want to put some stop function in this information, you also can view it under the website, under help desk. All right, FAQs. You can check it here under how to use stop limit order or how to use stop order. You actually can check it under our help desk and FAQ, and then more FAQ under the screen. And then what else? Nothing much. I think that's about it, Jeff.
Thank you, Zul.
Any question?
Yeah, we received two questions. The first one is from the Rise. Are we going to receive notification if the order cancel?
You can't, because you need to cancel it on the screen. There is no function for you to. Oh, you mean the GTD order?
I think so.
The GTD order, like I said in my earlier slide, you can't. There is no notification. You just need to check your order status manually. You can't. There is no notification notifying you that your order has been cancelled because of certain event. Maybe right issue, bonus issue. There is no notification.
All right. Next question will be, can we do cash withdrawal using the apps?
You can't. The cash withdrawal option at the moment, you can only do it via website.
Okay, audience, do you have any other questions?
Any other question? Don't be shy.
I think your explanation is very good, so everyone is understanding.
No.
All right, then if there's no more question, thank you everyone for staying until the end of this session, and thank you Zul for sharing the knowledge with the audience.
My pleasure, everyone.
If you wish to know more about the platform or need a personal help, please email us to marketing@ebs.com, AmBankGroup.com. We will connect you to your dealer or remiser. If you wish to get the research report update or future event info, please join our Telegram channel, which we already post in the chat box. And lastly, we would like to wish everyone a good day today and happy investing. Thank you, Zul. Thank you, everyone. See you all in the future event. Thank you.
Happy weekend, everyone.